So when it comes to whether you can tell your spouse about your invention idea, it's good to step back and sort of understand what the basis is for potentially causing problems by talking to folks like this. So patent rights start to be lost upon a first public disclosure, public use, or offer for sale. Okay, so in essentially every foreign jurisdiction, you automatically lose patent rights upon a first public disclosure, public use, or offer for sale, regardless of whether that happens. Like if you're in the United States, you do that, you forfeit your rights in China and all these other countries. In the United States, for United States patents, you have 1 year to file a patent application before a first public disclosure, public use, or offer for sale. Otherwise, you forfeit your patent rights. So you, again, automatically lose it in foreign countries and then have 1 year to file in the US before totally losing your patent rights. Now you might think, well, hey, I don't really care about patent rights in foreign countries. I'm not really thinking about that. I'm at early stages, whatever. I'll just, go ahead and make public disclosures, public use, or offers for sale. Not a big deal, whatever. But what I would say is the best practice is to actually, file a first patent application before a first public disclosure, public use, or offer for sale, even if you have that 1 year buff in the United States, because when it comes to approaching investors and certain partners, foreign protection can be important to those folks. And I've dealt with a lot of clients who say, oh, well, we already forfeited our foreign rights. We don't really care about foreign stuff. It's not a big deal. And then lo and behold, a few months later, they come to me and say, hey, so we had this, we found this investor and they really care about protection in China and Thailand and Australia and Canada. Is there any way we can file foreign patent applications now? It's like, well, no, sorry, you already made public disclosures, public use, or offers for sale, and you forfeited your foreign patent rights. We can't go back and do that. That's been lost. And then what happens is they lose they lose that partnership, or they lose that investor. So, even if you're not thinking about it now, the best practice is to preserve foreign rights. So again, you want to file a provisional patent application at least before you make public disclosures, public use, or offers for sale. Now, where do husbands, wives, spouses, and partners kind of fall into this? So let's talk about offers for sale. So it's very unlikely that you would actually offer something like that for sale to these people. You're not gonna talk to your partner and say, hey, you want to buy this invention, but you kind of would want to be careful of those things. Whether it's someone like that or a friend. Don't make offers for sale to those people because even if it's confidential, even if nobody knows about it, that still is potentially forfeiting patent rights. So don't do that. When it comes to public uses, it's important as well. So, if you're using something in public and, if you're using it with your spouse, that's not going to be a good thing. And even if there's not necessarily any proof that people saw it, I mean, if you're at Starbucks or, if you're at a trade show or something and, you're talking to your spouse about something, yeah, that's not going to be that, that's going to be potentially a public disclosure where people actually saw it or could have seen it, and that could be forfeiting patent rights. So, what if it's what about the public disclosure? So, or public use, we've kind of said, hey, you don't want to do things publicly. Similarly, things like, social media, you don't want to publish YouTube videos that, have this information, right? Even if it's you and your spouse, talking about it, if you publish it on YouTube, if you're having a conversation with this person, over social media and you describe the technology in detail, that's potentially forfeiting your patent rights. But what about just sort of talking to somebody in your house where it's just you two, right? It's just you and your partner talking about your invention idea. So that's not going to be a public disclosure. That's not going to be a public use if it's a private thing. As long as there's at least implied confidentiality, at least as long as there's some context that says, hey, this is sort of a private thing, that's not going to be forfeiting your patent rights. But where you do want to be careful is you want to make sure that you trust this person, that they're not going to go out and they're not going to say post it on YouTube or talk about it on social media or go and tell all their friends about it. And make sure that if you are talking to your spouse or husband or wife or partner about your invention idea, make sure to say, hey, please keep this confidential. Don't tell other people about it. It could potentially forfeit my patent rights. Please keep this confidential and just between us. Make sure that is clear. And hopefully you trust this person that they wouldn't do these things, but it's still important to make that clear. So that's really the issue that you're facing with these folks. So if you got any value out of this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want more on how I help my clients protect their ideas and inventions, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell icon so you don't miss any important videos. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you again in the next video.